Hey team, Josh here, coming to you from beautiful New York. I spent the last 4 weeks, about an hour north of New York City, visiting family and doing all the fun things like hiking, fishing, kayaking, lakes, oceans, getting into the city, friends, family, nieces, all of it. It's been amazing. And today, what we're going to train on, or I'm going to share with you on insights and understandings on getting far more out of your progress exams. So instead of these being extended visits that mess with your schedule and don't seem to be the magic key or the missing link of what's causing retention, whether it's people finishing your recommendations or, more importantly, continuing on past your recommendations, whether they still need more care for their initial condition or they're doing fine and they want to take advantage of your service because it makes sense. So I'm going to share with you what usually goes wrong in chiropractors' heads that sabotage this, the wrong things to do, so if you're doing them, you can stop, and then the understanding of what to do, so you have a lot more retention, a lot more care continuation, which means you don't have nearly as many new patient needs every month, especially 5, 10, 15, 20 years into practice, because you have so many more regulars coming for a great reason, which is to take advantage of your amazing service. If you're new to the group, I'm Dr. Josh Wagner. I created Patient Mastery, which helps amazing DCs just like you give the most incredible patient experience so you become the go-to chiropractor in your town, financial freedom with less hours in practice and less stress and love practice. That's what we promise in Patient Mastery, and I love helping awesome chiropractors see how practice can get a lot easier and grow. So let's talk progress exams. Oftentimes, just like how many chiropractors are taught with your normal exam, you gotta have the X-ray and there's got to be all this red, or marking what's wrong, or you got to have the scans and there's got to be red, and the old stupid paradigms of like, you got to be able to make a new patient cry, out of fear. That's the easiest way to get them to commit to care and get their spouse to understand and get them to pay. And it's not. You don't need to X-ray. You don't even need to do any exams. Now, I'm not saying HIPAA compliance-wise or for your clinical expertise, but I mean, in order for someone to pay you easily, happily, and well, and I mean well, like a lot better than in-network insurance pays, it has nothing to do, it really has nothing to do with your exam. Now, a lot of chiros use that as a tactic or a force, and there's nothing wrong with doing an exam and showing them the results, but you could do it in so much less time and so much easier, and you never have to use anything fear-related. Hey, Ben, good to see you. So the same thing happens with progress exams now, but it's a different scenario. So by the time you get to the progress exam, you've either gone a certain number of visits, a certain number of time, and people are either feeling better, feeling no different, hopefully not feeling worse, but essentially you're doing some other type of re-exam, like maybe it's postural, maybe it's scan, maybe it's X-ray, maybe it's palpation, maybe it's range of motion, I don't know. But you think as the chiropractor, by me showing them the change in the results, that the patient is going to either trust me more, believe that what we're doing is working, have more confidence in me, be more committed to continuing the plan or continuing afterward. And the truth is they're really not, based on whatever exams you're doing. They either like you and what they're doing because of what you're doing, because of the results you're getting, or they're not getting the results or not getting the results as fast, and they're either every visit they're close to being their last, or they'll finish out the care plan and you'll never see them again, you'll never get a referral from them. But let's take the common scenarios. If they're doing better and they like you, it really doesn't matter what your exam says. Like, they already know they're doing well, so they know the exam is going to look better. Now, are they going to nod their head and smile and give a thumbs up that like, okay, the scan's gotten better, the X-ray's gotten better? Sure, but it really makes no difference, which means it's a waste of everyone's time. If they're not doing better, or as better as they would have liked at this time, and they see the progress exam, doesn't show any results, that's really bad, because it's like, well, what have we been wasting our time and money on? Probably not what you would present to them. But let's say It's the classic Chiro example of they're not doing as well as they'd like or not really doing well, but you're showing them the scans or the x-rays are getting better. You know, the whole classic, let's say, antibiotic example. You're not feeling better yet, but we're doing the work on the inside, and, you know, you will. It just hasn't hit that time. Yeah, it's funny. You could actually use the antibiotic example two different ways. Like, oh, you're feeling well, but there's still, or you're feeling fine, but there's still work to do. But in that scenario, the people will shake their head. They'll say, thank you. Okay, I'm glad I'm getting better on the inside, but they're still that much closer to each visit being their last, or not continuing past whatever they may have paid in advance for. And what I'm getting at is so many chiropractors put so much emphasis on the changes in the objective results that you're looking for that are meaningful to you, and maybe they help you guide your clinical care, which is absolutely fine. So if you do them to help you guide what's next in your clinical care, changing frequency, changing services, adding, just subtracting, anything, that's all good. But don't get caught in the trap of thinking this is what the patient wants to see, needs to see, or is going to cement commitment. Just like the 45 to 60 minute report of findings doesn't get patients to understand, agree with, or accept chiropractic, just like the lay lecture and the patients nodding and cheering, you know, oftentimes the people who are the most enthusiastic are the ones who don't start care. It's the same thing. So if you're going to do all that, which you should, I understand there's certain aspects of just compliance and HIPAA and documentation you have to do, but when it comes to sharing it with the patient, revealing it to the patient, most of it you don't need to do, or you can make it 10 seconds. And what you do need to anchor to is, well, why was the patient starting care in the first place? Not the neck pain, not the headaches, not the disc issue. It's what they can't do in life because of that. Are you revisiting that in progress exams? The progress they've made in their third essential. The third essential is the difference in their life, getting their health back, being pain-free, is going to make. Are you measuring the progress in that? If they're all the way fully, they've got it back. They can golf now. Their swing is fine with no pain. You know, they can ice skate. They can go out to dinner with their spouse and dance and have no problem. They can pick up their grandchild. That's awesome. High five. As a human, we always have a next goal, whether it's health, money, anything. So don't think that just because you resolve that one issue, as a human, they don't jump to, well, now I want to be able to do this. Maybe it's something they didn't tell you in the beginning, and because you've proven that what you do works with that condition, now they're more open and trusting you to share other conditions they didn't initially bring up, because maybe they didn't think a chiropractor could help. So there's one, is there anything else? Two, what else do they want to be able to do that currently they're not at 100%? And maybe it doesn't have to do with a pain or a disability or an ailment, but if you believe your care continued will help them get to that level, maybe it's some weekend warrior, maybe it's an old person, it doesn't matter, but just there's what's next. And you can find this with the right paperwork before their progress exam or during the they fill it out in the paperwork. They let you know the progress of their current third essentials. They let you know any other third essentials they may have not told you originally and that they still are looking for, or any other conditions. And when you make progress exams catered to what's going forward that they want, rather than another view, x-ray, scan, posture, of what they already know happened, they know how they're feeling, they know how they're doing. You proving it through another medium is a waste of your time and energy to them. So instead of focusing on the past, well, what's already happened, and I mean, sure, in 10 seconds, show them the good results, high five, great, move on. When you focus on what's next, that's when you have people stay with and want more after whatever you initially said, we're going to work together for this amount of time to achieve these results, the expectation. That's when you have so many more people want to stay, rather than thinking it's because they understand chiropractic now, they get it, they accept it, they agree with it, they understand the big idea, which all comes down to thinking they just want absolute asymptomatic, 1 time a month, 2 times a month, once a week. a very, very small amount of people, that's their jam. So just inherently, the more new patients, the more people, as long as they like you and trust you and respect you, there's a small amount of people that are going to follow with that. But the majority of patients, once you get them the results, they'll come back to you if they like, trust, and respect you when they have a new result or a new issue that they want results with. But to have them happily and enthusiastically want to continue outside of something broke again or a new issue came up, this is the way to do it. So inside Patient Mastery, we have the simple paperwork and progress exams for them to do, the simple couple-minute conversation to anchor them going forward happily, enthusiastically, not because they feel like they have to with maintenance, not because you're trying to get everyone to fit into the 1% of, oh yeah, I'm going to be a wellness patient and come and absolutely everything feels fine, but I'm going to come and pay you to, because I know it's going to keep me from not breaking down. Like, that's a very small percent, and don't bank on your practice success being from that group of people. When you find this middle ground and you do it without fear tactics, without pressure, without feeling sleazy, without anything weird, but like true congruence and integrity of what you believe you can get people and the quality of your care, like you believe in the quality of your care and what's possible for this patient, it's just like how in Patient Mastery, patients will start, refer to you, pay more than they've ever paid any other chiropractor for any other condition they've come into because they want to, not because they feel they have to or they're pressured or anything like that. So just as much as Patient Mastery has this incredible startup and following your recommendations, there's just as much continuing past the initial recommendations. And that's one of the sections we get to in what we call growth secrets, after you learn the Patient Mastery exceptional new patient experience. So if you want more on this, if you know this is the right time, we have right now 3 spots opening for the rest of July, where we take groups every month through the new patient experience and the Patient Mastery proven process. Comment ready below this, and either I'll reach out or a team member will reach out, and we'll show you what that looks like if you're eligible, if you're a fit for a pretty amazing group that helps you get to your best level of collections, become the go-to chiropractor, and just love practice. So thanks for watching. Hey Mark, good to see you. And if you want more help specifically with this, the Patient Mastery proven process, put down ready below, or send me a Facebook message and just say ready, and I'll connect with you. All right, be well, stay great, and I hope you have a great weekend ahead of you. And today is your last day of practice for the week.